The drama just hit a new level because now Prince's name is suddenly being linked to Diddy's federal trial. No one expected this twist. It was already known, thanks to Jason Lee, that Diddy held some wild no-rules parties at Prince's infamous Minnesota estate. But things may go deeper than anyone imagined. Now picture this. What if Prince had surveillance running the entire time? Prince wasn't just private. He was calculated, always 10 steps ahead, always fully in control of his surroundings. He famously never attended those parties himself, which led many to believe he simply wanted nothing to do with the chaos Diddy was bringing through. But the narrative is shifting fast. What if Prince documented everything that went down under his roof and kept those recordings secured for leverage or protection? That's the new theory.
First Diddy party I went to was at Prince's house. So you want to go to Prince's house to the Diddy party where Tyrese is performing and Demi Moore and Ashton Kutcher are swinging on swings. That is what's happening on the other side of the wall. And so the one thing that makes this party different than a Jamie Foxx party or any other celebrity party that wrangles a bunch of young women or guys or whatever too, is that Diddy didn't let you bring your security in the party.
Day 3 started.
Some believe Prince passed the footage along to someone before his death, and with Diddy's legal troubles escalating, there's buzz that these alleged tapes could surface as evidence. If that happens, it could change everything. And just when that bombshell landed, another twist hit. Jury selection started making headlines. The names reportedly under consideration for jury duty stunned everyone. Michelle Williams, Robert Downey Jr., Mike Myers, Lauren London. Names you'd never expect to be tied to a criminal case like this. Court insiders say even seasoned reporters were left speechless. Now let's break down the names we did expect to surface in this escalating legal firestorm. Starting with Cassie. She was the first to step forward, filing that explosive lawsuit that cracked everything wide open. And her claims, they're beyond disturbing. According to Cassie's legal filing, a number of Diddy's closest people, bad boy employees, assistants, and security personnel witnessed the abuse. But not one person stepped up or spoke out about it. And it gets even darker. Cassie alleged that those same assistants didn't just stay silent, they helped cover it all up. She said they were the ones delivering apology gifts after Diddy's violent outbursts. Worse, they were also allegedly the organizers of the now infamous freak-offs, booking hotels, prepping rooms, laying out baby oil, and Astroglide like they were setting the stage for some twisted production.
Their notebooks in their hand, they're coming in, they're very alert, and I think this is one of those testimonies where you have no choice but to pay attention and almost be flabbergasted, obviously, at some of what you're hearing, because it's not only just insight into somebody's sex life, but the details are disturbing at times, especially during that prosecution testimony when we saw some of the alleged abuse, or we saw pictures of her after a beating of some kind, according to her. But the jurors are definitely paying attention. I don't see anyone that's not keeping their focus on Cassie Ventura, and also I noticed them taking notes a lot of times.
And the children, as they were exiting court yesterday, 2 of the girls were seen crying. How emotional have they been in court?
Again, I cannot imagine if that was my father or somebody close to me up there and having to hear details of their sex life. Those are young women. They lost their mother, one of them, the twins. So no one can probably quite understand what it is that they're going through, but I think that's something that you think about on both sides, you know, to look at Alex Fine, which is Cassie Ventura's husband, and think about him having to listen to all that's being said about the type of woman that Cassie Ventura was versus the person that's expecting, you know, their 3rd child together now. So whether it's Combs's family or Ventura's family that's there to support her, her brother, and her husband, Alex Fine, I think it's difficult on both sides. I've seen him taking notes from the beginning. I see him put his glasses on. He gets very close to the screen when they're reading some of those text messages, so he's paying attention.
Now, Ventura confirmed that she and Combs had conversations about a swingers lifestyle, but at the freak-offs, they were very different.
Yeah, so she talked about this idea where I guess Combs wanted her to watch him have sex with another woman. She said that happened 2 or 3 times, but that he mentioned it frequently.
Kim Porter came up today in testimony. What was the significance there?
The defense said early on that this case would be about infidelity, love, and jealousy. And this is where they brought that up today when they brought up Kim Porter's name. The defense asked Cassie Ventura, are you jealous or were you jealous of Kim Porter? And Ventura sort of contemplated, but did get to this moment where she said, knowing that Combs spent holidays with his family, which meant with Porter, did bother her. And she admitted that. They also pointed out that there was testimony where she talked about being insanely jealous overall as a girlfriend. So, yeah.
We're hearing the judge wants Cassie off the stand tomorrow. Will the prosecution and defense get equal time?
Yeah, as long as there aren't any additional motions, I think that is the goal, to have her off the stand by tomorrow.
Why do you think that? What's the reasoning behind wanting her off the stand tomorrow?
In the very beginning, Rachel, they told us that she would likely be on that stand 2 to 3 days.
That's not a job description. It's something straight out of a disturbing movie script. But it doesn't stop there. Cassie claimed that after one particularly traumatic incident, both Diddy's head of security and his personal assistant saw her condition, and they reportedly broke down in tears. That's how brutal it allegedly was. If this detail holds up, you can bet those 2 staff members are already on the government's subpoena radar. And it's not just Cassie's story making waves. Harve Pierre, a longtime executive under Diddy, also had his name dropped, this time in a separate lawsuit filed by a Jane Doe. According to court sources, he's also landed squarely on the witness list. The courtroom's about to get crowded, and every name surfacing now could reshape the case completely. One Jane Doe made a chilling claim, saying Harve Pierre convinced her to fly from Detroit to New Jersey, only for her to allegedly be assaulted by both Harve and Diddy. That's not just messy, it's terrifying.
Prince's last Diddy recording played in trial. Cassie said he would get physical. That one male guy who did things with Diddy and Cassie said he witnessed him get physical. Don, so again, we talked about how the domestic charges aren't, what he's being, what he's on trial for. But boy, it's stacking up. And I feel that the jury is going to take that into consideration.
But the list of names caught in this storm doesn't stop there. Young Miami, who was reportedly on Diddy's payroll, is now facing heat too, not just as someone close to him, but as someone allegedly involved in transporting illegal substances. And her name, it surfaced during jury selection, raising eyebrows across the courtroom and social media alike. This scandal isn't just shaking celebrities. It's reaching deep into Diddy's entire inner circle. Another surprising name, Dallas Austin. Most know him as a hit-making music producer, but many forget he was also childhood friends with Kim Porter, Diddy's late partner. Kim's sudden and tragic death sparked years of speculation, whispers about whether Diddy was somehow involved. Now, with Dallas Austin's name mentioned, some wonder if that piece of the puzzle is about to finally crack open. Then there's Lorianne Gibson, the choreographer from Making the Band. She filed a police report back in 2007, accusing Diddy of threatening her on set with a chair. That's behavior far from professional and sounding dangerously unhinged. And don't overlook Aubrey O'Day. She's been one of the loudest voices supporting Cassie's claims, openly accusing Diddy of inappropriate behavior toward her during her time with Danity Kane. Also caught in the mix, Dawn Richard, another Danity Kane member. She filed her own lawsuit alleging serious misconduct involving Diddy during their time working together. Each of these names adds another layer to an already explosive case, and it's not done unraveling yet. According to court documents, Diddy's alleged abuse didn't just happen behind closed doors. It reportedly began on camera, right on the set of Making the Band. He was accused of unleashing demeaning, aggressive insults at the women during filming, breaking them down emotionally while the cameras were rolling for all to see. But things reportedly got even worse behind the scenes.
Cassie Ventura on the witness stand for a fourth day in the federal criminal trial against hip-hop mogul Sean Diddy Combs. The defense continuing cross-examination this morning, confronting her with dozens of her own messages, many explicit, hoping to convince the jury she was an eager sexual partner who matched Combs's desires. "I'm always ready to freak off," one message said.
She was into the freak-offs herself and was like a willing participant and was into all the freaky stuff, and essentially that was the crux of what they were trying to do yesterday.
And do you think they proved that or not?
I mean, there's texts like that from 2009, "I'm always ready to freak off." There was some other texts where she was referencing like hitting him up about the FOs, is what they were referring to him. To me, like, yes, this doesn't look good, but at the same time, I think the timeline is crucial here. And these are texts from 2009, man. That was when they were first getting in the relationship. She was young. Obviously, they were in the honeymoon stage, and she was stoked to like, oh my God, I'm with Diddy. I'm living this lavish lifestyle. Of course, she's going to be saying things that she knows will curry favor.
Dawn Richard, former member of Danity Kane, claimed that while working on music, Diddy would force her into extreme rehearsals. No breaks, no food, no sleep, just relentless, exhausting hours that pushed her beyond the limit. And in that vulnerable, depleted state, she says he took full advantage. That alone is disturbing. But she didn't stop there. Dawn also dropped a major bombshell in her statements. She claimed that she personally witnessed Diddy physically assaulting Cassie while he was under the influence of drugs. That kind of first-hand account could hold serious weight in the courtroom and drastically shift the momentum of the entire case. And then there are the names being mentioned alongside Cassie, not as perpetrators, but as figures appearing in the swirl of speculation.
The other things that the Diddy's team tried to do was show how they had breaks, and she like was with Michael B. Jordan and was with Kid Cudi for a minute. But during that time period, she was still having freak-offs with Diddy, and I think that was them trying to show like this wasn't a controlling thing. Here she was like hooking up with other people. She just was into the freak-offs.
I kind of buy that, to be honest.
So
like, she is out of the freak-offs then. She is, when she's with Kid Cudi, or you know, allegedly with Michael B. Jordan, she's kind of out of the freak-offs if she wants to be. So why do you keep going back? Yeah. I know it's kind of like a mental, like, she still loves Diddy. Diddy was jealous about her.
Oh, yeah, because that was another thing that the prosecutors were trying to do, is show that, that they had a very jealous relationship. She would get jealous when he's with Kid Cudi. Also, like, Kim Porter, Cassie would be jealous of Kim Porter.
Right.
Trying to show that, like, Cassie, you were in love with this guy. That's why you were jealous.
Right.
So, like, this was a real relationship.
It was just interesting to see Chris Brown.
I mean, he's always coming up somewhere, dude.
He is.
Chris Brown.
All right. Final story of the week. Final story of the week.
Oh.
Justin Bieber is not a victim of Diddy. So this was one of those, like, rumors or whatever that was flying around in the months leading up to the trial. And to be honest, there was quite a few rumors flying around, like, you know, was there minors involved? Says if no other celebrity was part of freak-offs, why are they in hiding? Are they in hiding though?
I don't think they're in hiding. I just think other celebrities didn't want to insert themselves. No one wants to be tied to Diddy one way or the other.
Even if you're at a white party, like just having a lot of fun, at, you know, one of Diddy's white parties, you don't want to be linked in any way.
No, and that's why, like, all those people, there's a few people I think that have come forward and been like, I didn't see any of this freak-off stuff.
One of them, Michael B. Jordan. His name came up, but not because he's accused of anything. His connection appears to be more social, possibly through events or mutual circles. Still, with this case expanding in all directions, no association is going unnoticed. Michael B. Jordan's name showed up in Cassie's lawsuit, not because he's facing any allegations, but due to a reportedly flirty vibe the two shared back in 2015. Prosecutors aren't claiming wrongdoing, but they're planning to call in as many of Cassie's past relationships as possible. The goal? To build a full picture of Diddy's alleged behavior and jealousy. And that leads straight to Kid Cudi. Cassie admitted to having a brief fling with Cudi in 2011 during a rocky patch in her relationship with Diddy. But when she got back with Diddy, he allegedly discovered old emails between her and Cudi and completely lost it. According to the lawsuit, Diddy was so enraged, he made sure Cudi was home and then blew up his car. And here's the chilling part. Kid Cudi's car really did explode in his own driveway. That part of Cassie's lawsuit isn't up for debate. It actually happened, and now it's evidence. With the trial building momentum, more high-profile names are expected to drop. But the real plot twist, the one no one saw coming, Prince. Yes, that Prince. And now the whispers are getting louder. Did Prince know something? Could that alleged tape he reportedly had involving Diddy have played a role in the mysterious circumstances around Prince's own death? It sounds like a conspiracy theory until you start connecting the dots. Because here's where things get eerie. Just days before he passed, Prince posted a photo with a now deleted caption. "Just when you thought you were safe." That cryptic message set off alarm bells for many. Then, during his final appearance at Paisley Park, after reportedly receiving emergency medical treatment, Prince made a strange, unsettling statement to the crowd.
Trying to listen. I mean, it's a lot of this stuff that I've heard and seen already. I'm really trying to connect the dots here and think like, damn, what if Prince was what if he caught wind of some, I'll just say allegedly, stuff that Diddy might have been doing. That seems to be like, I ain't talking about consensual things, I'm talking about illegal things or whatever. But I'm just like, would Diddy be that dumb to like not think that Prince, this celebrity, has cameras in his house as well? So I'm just trying to think, like, because if Prince has cameras and he's recording stuff, you know, to get some dirt on Diddy, I don't know. I feel like Diddy, with all his cameras that he allegedly had, or no, they actually found cameras.
Problems? That I don't know, right? What I know is that he was really health conscious. He was a vegan. He didn't abuse alcohol. I didn't know of him drug. He worked out, you know, so, you know, that also really concerned me, because it made me think that, wow, so you mean you do all these things to take care of yourself and you die so...
Prince once said something that still echoes today. Wait a few days before you waste any prayers. What kind of person says that? Unless they sense something's about to go down. And then just like that, Prince was gone, found unresponsive at his Paisley Park estate in Minnesota. The official report labeled it an accidental fentanyl overdose, allegedly caused by counterfeit Vicodin pills. But many never accepted that explanation. Why? Because Prince was widely known for his clean lifestyle. No drugs, no chaos, no reckless habits. So how does someone with that kind of discipline end up dying from a powerful synthetic opioid? That's the question that's never fully gone away. Sure, some asked if he had hidden health issues, but most fans and insiders believe there's far more to this story than just physical health. Too many details don't add up. According to reports, Prince had been offered help. One conversation allegedly involved someone saying, "You'll laugh and we'll get you into rehab to help." And Prince reportedly responded, "Okay, when and where?" That doesn't sound like someone spiraling out of control, because Prince wasn't just a performer, he was a fighter. For years, he went head-to-head with powerful music corporations over control of his work, refusing to surrender the rights to his own catalog. He battled for artists to retain ownership, to get paid fairly, and to break free from industry exploitation. And according to some, he paid the ultimate price for that resistance. There's long been speculation about whether Warner Brothers, the very label he once branded as controlling, had a deeper connection to the events that followed. Nothing's ever been proven, but ask his most loyal fans. They'll tell you straight up, they don't believe it was just a tragic accident. Many believe the very system Prince spent his life fighting may have played a role in silencing him. Let's rewind. Prince signed with Warner Music back in 1977 at just 18 years old. His early albums between 1978 and 1981 didn't top charts, but Warner stuck with him. They saw something rare, vision, genius, and raw potential. They weren't wrong. By 1982, a year after MTV launched, Prince dropped another project and finally hit the US top 10. But he wasn't just dropping records, he was building a mythology. Prince understood the power of visuals. He knew a music video wasn't just marketing, it was a weapon, a way to shape his image, command attention, and craft a story only he could tell. Then came Purple Rain in 1984, and the world changed. Prince wasn't just a superstar, he became a full-blown cultural phenomenon. Fans copied his style, his sound, and his swagger. His influence stretched across music, fashion, and film. He was the most electrifying name in pop, and everyone knew it. But behind the spotlight, trouble. Prince was furious that Warner Brothers owned the rights to his name and every song he released under it. Imagine being one of the greatest artists alive and not even owning your own identity. So he flipped the entire industry on its head. Prince changed his name to a symbol, that iconic glyph everyone now recognizes. That move sent a message. He was done playing by their rules. The media dubbed him the artist formerly known as Prince, and Prince made one thing clear. This was a war for full creative control. He started speaking out, loud and unfiltered, and here's where it takes a sharp turn. Diddy. He was out here cutting deals with the exact same machine Prince was trying to bring down. Diddy inked a major joint venture with Warner Music Group, the same Warner that Prince had spent years battling. The agreement gave Warner a 50% stake in Bad Boy Records, plus control over digital and physical distribution. The Warner partnership with Diddy wasn't just a deal, it was a global power move. The agreement gave Warner access to Bad Boy's entire catalog, past and present, and they helped manage distribution and artist development worldwide. And Diddy, he was proud of that arrangement. He publicly boasted, "There have been a lot of boutique labels that come and go, but we're still here." He framed the Warner partnership as a way to secure long-term dominance, saying it gave financial firepower to keep Bad Boy on top. But now here's where the story takes a much darker, eerier turn. Rumors are swirling that Prince might have known all about those infamous freak-off parties Diddy was throwing, and he wanted no part of it. According to Jason Lee, the very first wild Diddy party he ever attended, it was at Prince's house. But Jason said something strange stood out. Nobody was allowed to bring personal security, no outside teams, no private bodyguards, nothing. Think about that. Prince let Diddy use his mansion for these intense, over-the-top gatherings, but he made sure only his team maintained control. That kind of boundary wasn't accidental. It was intentional, controlled, tactical. And considering who we're talking about, Prince, the master of privacy and planning, you have to wonder, were the security cameras rolling? Every room, every hallway, every corner. Prince was never sloppy. He was always 10 steps ahead, always protecting himself. What if he captured footage of what went down during those events and stashed it somewhere safe, or even passed it off to someone he trusted before he died? Now, with whispers that his name might appear in court, people are starting to connect the dots, and the picture is disturbing. "Like old times," she said. She asked him one last time, "How are you really?" But Prince didn't open up. He knew something was heavy on her heart, and he definitely had weight on his own shoulders too. But he kept it all inside. That silence said everything. Whatever was haunting him in those final days, he chose not to speak on it. Maybe that was his way of protecting the people around him, shielding them from something too dangerous or too dark to explain. What we do know, without question, is this. A lot was happening behind the scenes before Prince passed. The energy was shifting. The vibe had changed. Whether any of it truly connects back to Diddy or the swirling claims surrounding these parties, these tapes, and this trial, that remains a tangled, unanswered mystery. But now Prince's name is floating around again. And if it does end up landing in that courtroom, it could blow the lid off everything. Now let's hear from you. Do you think Prince actually had recordings of Diddy at those freak-off parties? And if he did, why didn't he ever expose it? Was he planning to? Drop your take in the comments. Make sure to like, subscribe, and share this video with someone who's been keeping up with this insane case. Tap that notification bell so you don't miss what's coming next. Because this story, oh, it's just getting started. We'll catch you in the next one.